I want to just get this out of the way. I am Bill Hicks. I'm actually...
You are.
How old would Bill Hicks be, like 60?
I think he died at 32 in 1994.
I don't want to get too, esoteric, but I'm kind of at peace with myself as well. I don't really care anymore. There are venues and there are avenues, but they are not going to be mainstream. But that's why I love public access.
Just came on cable access and hung out, or what your actual employment was?
I come on public access and hang out. I'm on 24 hours a day, they say.
Yeah, pretty close.
Well, I can assure you I don't make any money off public access. I can guarantee you that.
I thought I lived in the U.S. of A., United States of America.
Right.
And actually we live in the U.S. of A., United States of advertising. Freedom of expression is guaranteed if you've got the money.
I would jog 3-4 miles. I had a personal trainer. I would do hot yoga. And it didn't lose the weight. People said, look, it's what's going on in your body. You've got the hormones of a 60-year-old man. Well, natural compounds that God created that are in Anthroplex and Super Male Vitality changed it.
So tell me, Bill, how's non-smoking treating you?
Well, not too well.
Yeah, looks like you're having a good time.
I won't light up in here, but the hook was deep. I went 9 months without them, and the hook is deep. They dropped this thing back in the water, and I just pulled me into the boat, weighed me. We got another one.
Well, they just wanted to clean you out a little bit so they'd have more room to store more nicotine in there.
Oops, I touched the mic.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I got this petition from the state of North Carolina that said, Bill, you're killing the economy. Could you light up? There's a statue of me in Raleigh, by the way.
I believe, I believe that.
It's an internal torch lit lighting my cigarette. Everyone bows to it when they walk by.
I've battled tobacco my whole life. Haven't had any tobacco other than, I think, a couple cigars the last 3.5 years. And I'm always on and off, pipes, cigarettes, chewing tobacco. If it grows on a tobacco plant, I want to put it in my body.
Now, you started stand-up at 14 years old?
That's right. Used to sneak out of my room, went upstairs, do homework. I'm out the drain pipe, my wheelman waiting, and we go off to the nightclub to do comedy.
I mean, I'm not bragging, but I was 14 dating college chicks.
He's been appearing professionally at comedy clubs all over the country since he was 15.
When I was 16, I didn't want to party anymore. I didn't want to play games anymore. I grew up. I'd already been in the fights, all the big rituals. I'd already had probably, I hate to brag, so I'm not bragging, it's actually shameful, probably 150 women or more. That's conservative. I'd had over 150 women. I'd already been in fights with full-grown men.
How does he describe his style?
It's jazz. It's jazz thinking. It's a rhythm.
Okay. Hey, Dr. Pacheni, you've been down about the Afghanistan thing, but it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
You are brilliant.
No, I'm not.
To pay for this show. Honestly, I don't think anybody really understands how incredibly brilliant you are when you're riffing. It's like a jazz riff.
I don't know. For myself, I still like to perform, so I guess what I'm doing. You know, where that will lead, I do not know. I don't want to work clubs the rest of my life, but I do like performing. I just would like to have bigger audiences, less dates on the road. You know, that would be nice for the next step, I guess.
The times that I put on clown makeup and played the part of the Joker saying, drink your fluoride water and take your vaccines because you're going to see pretty colors, kids. People got freaked out and said, oh my gosh, you're not for real because you act like a nice guy on air, but then you acted like a monster for an hour on TV, and it was powerful. It was a powerful performance. That's why people were so freaked out. And they said, what's the real you?
I love talking about the Kennedy assassination because to me it's a great example of a totalitarian government's ability to, you know, manage information and thus keep us in the dark any way they do. Oh, sorry, wrong meeting. Shit. That's the meeting we're having tomorrow at the docks.
Everything they do counts on you not having open eyes. Everything they, a lot of the globalists have the owl as their symbol. Sure, in Greek mythology, it means wisdom, and it means that as well. But for them, the owl sees in the dark. You don't. You're a little mouse down there that doesn't see well in the dark, and they can fly down and grab you with their talons. Well, I'm not a mouse, okay?
Let me tell you what happened. When I was a kid, starting out,
I would watch TV and I'd go, boy, if they like that guy, I was looking at comics, if they like that guy, they're going to love me. And that was the impetus that led me to work on comedy and start and continue. And then you get out to Los Angeles and you come to the cold realization that from that kid's wish, boy, if they love this guy, they're going to love me. They don't want me. They don't want you if you have an idea that doesn't correspond to their propaganda. And it's everyone in LA is disillusioned by that, but I no longer am, because I got it in focus and I know what to do with it now.
Yeah, I've been around Hollywood and I got out of it real quick. I sure went and checked it out for a few years, just off and on, and it rolled out the red carpet, by the way. But it was not a carpet that I wanted to follow.
The theory I wanted to propose to you is that white Christians are from another planet, and they have come here to fuck up our planet and our karma, and they're going to get their rapture in about 2 years, because like they're going to get called home to their home planet, and everything is going to get put back together the way it's supposed to be, because the earth spirits are supposed to be left. What do you think of that?
I think it's a great theory, and apparently you're maybe a fan of the movie They Live. I just saw that. I just saw that the other day, the John Carpenter film.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more that they are an alien and alienating and alienated culture.
And we won't have a world until they're gone.
They no longer live in sync with natural world. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how they have. Well, first of all, the idea of hell is a concept. It's their idea. Let them go to it. How about that be their other planet? They're the ones that believe in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Go for it.
Well, man, I think you're the top.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks for the call, the positive remarks.
Anything negative about Christianity is positive.
Was it Esquire or was it? Yeah, it was Esquire. You can look it up. Just type Glenn Beck crying. And he joked about it on video, knowing it would go out that he was fake, to let the system know I'm fake, I'm a fraud. I'll let the liberals know I'm a fraud and make fun of conservatives and patriots and Christians, but my own audience wants to believe in me so they won't see it.
Fuck the military, fuck the FBI, fuck the ATF, fuck President Clinton, fuck George Bush, fuck Ronald Reagan.
I'm not in a fucking cult for Donald Trump. Fuck him. Fuck his family. Fuck all these people. All right, see, I shouldn't even be live right now. When are we going on the fucking satellite? God fucking damn it, man.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you coming to spend time with us tonight, Bill.
A pleasure.
Future for you is this last show in America for a while, then you're heading over to Europe, work on this. Is this a series, did you say?
It's a series, right, which is starting in January, and I won't be back in America until the 95, probably.
Wow, 95.
We've seen more Mark of the Beast is good for you, get rid of cash, put a chip in your kids in the last month than I've ever seen in 21 years on air. I mean, it has been a full onslaught, and the mystery is it's 666. That's the day. It's June 6th, the month is 6, the day is 6, the year is 16, and numerology, the last number.
Right. Now, are they like the Masons or the Freemasons or something?
Well, the Masons were perfect for...
When you just come out and say Masons are devil worshippers, then people who are third-degree Master Masons are all the way up to 32nd degree, and then, of course, the honorary degree of 33, it actually goes above that. They don't know all this. And yes, the Illuminati has taken over Masonry. You can argue where it came from, the different branches of it. It predates Christianity. It predates Judaism. It predates Islam. It is the old-time religion. And it is, at its base, Luciferian.
The elitists have been doing this for thousands of years, because if you're going to go back to the ancient Egypt 6,000 years ago, who controlled Egypt? This weren't the pharaohs. If you think of the pharaohs way back then, it would be like the presidents and prime minister of today. The people who controlled Egypt and the knowledge way back then were the high priests. And it's they who gave us knowledge, one little droplet at a time, just enough knowledge for us to get by, day to day to day. And these, or those high priests today live in Switzerland. So that really hasn't changed a lot much. So these secret societies, very secretive private organizations, have been doing this for a very, very long time.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being conquered by Switzerland right now.
Out of the Templars came the Freemasons, and here we can see it, because where did the Templars' treasure, where did it go to? Of course it went to Switzerland, and with it they founded the Swiss banks and the banksters. The last crusade was in 1291, and the last stronghold of the Templars was Aachen. It lies in the north of Israel now, and Aachen fell on May 18th, 1291. Only 2.5 months later, the time to get back at this time, in those days, on horseback, they founded Switzerland on the 1st of August, 1291. And this is why the Swiss cross is a simplified Templar's cross. The castle here is a Templar's castle. Sort of the names of the lords here. Von Stradlingen, Bovenberg, well, we know this symbol here. This is the Templars' chapel. We can see the round form here at the other side, which is typically a Templars' chapel. And here's this is the castle here. Let's go and have a look in the chapel then. There it is. See the typical round form of the Templar chapels. And behind here, they got a secret compartment. This is the secret compartment here. I will get up my flashlight and we can have a look. And which is important here, if you look back here, we can see the all-seeing eye here, looking in your back, piercing in your back with the sun rays, like on the dollar, and the triangle, the Freemasonry triangle. You see? So who's ruling here? Here they let children disappear. They do very bad things here. We are. Let's see. Skull and Bones. There it is. Freemasons. There it is. Of course this is locked. This is closed. And here they have the secret compartment here. Here they do sacrifices of children.
So much organized crime uses the Masonic secret system and the good old boy network to be able to get away with murder. And I mean murder. And I won't get off into all of it.
Let's put it this way. I was training to become a psychopath, and I failed. I did not complete the training. I didn't become a psychopath. My conscience came back, and the most difficult part for me was because I had such a great status there. I was a success. I was trusted with the people playing at this level. To put it carefully, most of these people followed a not very mainstream religion. So you have Catholics, Protestants, all sorts of religions. These people, most of them were Luciferians. And then you can say religion is a fairy tale, God doesn't exist, none of that is real. Well, for these people, it is truth and reality. And they served something immaterial, what they call Lucifer. And I also was in contact with those circles, only I laughed at it because to me they were just clients. So I went to places called churches of Satan. So now we are talking about Satanism? Yes. So I visited these churches just as a visitor, dropped by. And then they were doing their Holy Mass with naked women and liquor and stuff. And it just amused me. I didn't believe in any of this stuff and was far from convinced if any of this was real. It was just a spectacle. Yes, in my opinion, the darkness and evil is within the people themselves. I didn't make the connection yet. So I was a guest in those circles, and it amused me greatly to see all those naked women and the other things. It was the good life. But then, at some point, I was invited, which is why I'm telling you all this, to participate in sacrifices abroad.
Dat was het breekpunt.
That was the breaking point.
Kinderen.
Children.
Dat werd
You were asked to do that?
Ja, ik kon het niet.
Yes, and I couldn't do that.
Be honorable. Crush the snakes under your feet. Get behind me, Satan. Now, before I go any further, we got to fund this operation. We got the very best nutraceuticals out there. I don't know if I can run this for another week or so. We want to run it through the end of the month, but that's like 11 days. Because I don't want it to sell out before more gets in. X2, the good halogen. 20% off, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsLife.com.
The psychopath's relations with others are superficial, surface, very, very little depth. Mostly style over substance. And the idea is to impress other individuals, to somehow put them in a position where you can manipulate them and so forth.
I'm pissed off at the globalists. I'm pissed off at the political class. I'm tired of their crap. They all need to go to prison. So there's fear in these people. I'm sick of them. Dr. Pachenik, what do you make of the intel I just dumped on you? I know you have a lot of your own sources, but what do you make of that?
First of all, I thought you were going to call me up to see how I was, because I have been in the middle of a major storm which was not created by globalists or the CIA, and trees have been coming down, power lines have been coming down. So, Alex, I want you to come
I did
back.
I mean, you were on yesterday. We know. Thank you for calling on. We hope you're doing great.
You can ask, how am I doing, Alex? And you can ask all of the people who've been in Florida and Georgia and Texas, how are we doing? You want to ask that, Alex?
Yes, I have been covering that, and it's a bad storm.
No, it's not enough. You asked me to come on. I have to go to my neighbor's house in order to talk and say, look, we're in the middle of major
Oh, I got it. You're at your neighbor's house. I think you're going about the hurricane. Sorry we didn't relay that to you. It was about this big... You were on with us yesterday. Yes, how are you doing over there? How was the hurricane?
No, that's not polite, Alex.
Psychopath lacks empathy. And this simply means that it's very difficult or impossible for a psychopath to put himself inside the emotional skin of somebody else. They may understand at some sort of superficial level that this person is going through what could be construed as an emotion by other people, but I don't understand what it is. This is a psychopath's position.
Truth is, I'm extremely vicious. I mean, I don't have any fear. I'm not bragging. It's weird, actually. I wish I had fear. It's almost like, where are the nerve endings? Where is it?
Poor behavioral controls is another characteristic that defines a psychopath. These are individuals who are likely to lose their temper very easily, to strike out and do things that are fairly irrational in the short term, but they do it in a very controlled manner. They know what they're doing. There could be a reaction to frustration and so forth.
You know, Morgan, I will literally beat the hell out of you and Buzz Bissinger. I tell you what, let's go further. Andy Kaufman would do this. I'll fight the ambassador's daughter who said she wants to kill me too on the show. Buzz Bissinger, so 2 women. I'll fight her, Buzz Bissinger, and you, Morgan. I'm serious. I will go in that ring and I will demolish all 3 of you within 3 rounds. I guarantee you. I will annihilate you within 3 rounds. Guaranteed, cowards. All 3 of you, I'm serious, in the ring, I will come in there and stomp the hell out of all of you, including your tart. Because she wants to talk about how she wants me dead and everything. Well, get in the ring with me, you wench.
A psychopath is also a grandiose individual, has a very powerful sense of self, believes that he or she is the center of the universe, better, smarter than everybody else.
I'm not bragging. It's just that I didn't believe in Santa Claus at 2.5, and nobody had to tell me. And I'm not bragging. I mean, it's a fact, folks. I can think 50 levels up, okay? I got tricks up my sleeve, and I'm not bragging. You think you're Machiavelli? I got tricks 1,000 times more vicious. The problem is I don't want to release this stuff on the earth, and I'm not bragging.
A psychopath doesn't accept responsibility for his or her own behavior. Usually, diffusion of responsibility is the name of the game for the psychopath. Somebody else maybe do it. It wasn't my fault. It was fate, and I'm not really responsible.
I was on one radio station. I've been on Access TV for a few years. I was on one radio station. I already started a show out of my house that was on like 15 radio stations, so I had that at least. But I was on one big radio station, had the top show at night, on a station with Howard Stern. It was a killer. It was all over the newspaper, had huge ratings. And I was bringing in like, 20, 30 grand a month, which was just a huge amount for me, building a whole operation out of that at home. And they come to the sales guys and they go, look, for a year, you've not been behind Y2K, and you're not letting us have all these big sponsors, and you're going to basically be fired if you don't let us endorse these sponsors and have them on air and say you believe in Y2K.
Hold on a second. So these sponsors were like doomsday stuff, like canned food and shit, and
bunkers and everything else. So
Jesus
I already
Christ.
believe in food
So they
stuff
gotta
in
push
case there's a problem.
Y2K.
But
You gotta
let me
push
tell you what
that
happened. Let me tell you what happened.
Y2K means
But the station wants to make all this money.
500K.
Okay?
So the station made you push Y2K.
The psychopath is also very manipulative, tends to manipulate, con, and deceive other people to try and mold them into something that they can use. Remember, the psychopath is really a predator, and as a predator, you're trying to groom and put your prey in the right position for where you can make some use of this particular object, is the way they would see them.
I'm going to get on the phone today, and I'm going to call some of the folks that have offered a lot of money, and I'm going to just say, because there's no strings attached anyways, but I'm going to say, listen, this is about all of us. I need a lot of money. And by the way, I don't just need that $500,000 or that $50,000 you offered. I need you to understand, unless you want to evacuate the U.S., I need everything you can give us.
Most psychopaths are not criminals. It's estimated that between 1% and 2% of the general adult male population are psychopaths, which means there could be as many as 600,000 in Canada alone. They could be your neighbor, your boss, your friend, or your spouse. Hare considers them society's most dangerous individuals. His diagnostic checklist measures 20 key personality characteristics which reveal psychopathic traits: egocentric, lacking remorse, guilt, and empathy, deceitful, glib, and shallow. Hare's checklist scores those characteristics on a scale from 0 to 40.
The average score in the population might be 1 or 2. The average score in prisons is about 20, 21, and we use 30 out of 40 as a convenient threshold for defining psychopathy. Now that's very, very high, and that's light years away from the average person.
People like Ted Bundy, who are really smart, become governors. They become Fox News hosts, CNN hosts.